First, we got these big, lumpy SUVs meant to go around the tracks, and now we have the other side of that oxymoronic coin. Supercars going off the paved roads on purpose. Full-blown lunacy. Hey guys, it's up here with a list of the top 7 best off-road supercars ever. If you ask someone to draw a tough off-road sports car, they might come up with something like the Huracan Cerato Bravo. This car is made by Lamborghini, and it's not your typical flashy sports car. It's designed to handle rough terrain, it has a strong body, bigger tires, and a suspension system that can handle bumpy roads. Plus, it has all-wheel drive, which means all its wheels can power the car, making it great for people who want to go off the beaten path. But you might wonder how Lamborghini, known for making delicate and high-strung supercars, ended up creating a rugged machine like this. Well, the credit goes to the Germans. Lamborghini is an Italian brand, but it's been owned by a German company since the late 90s. Under German ownership, Lamborghinis became more reliable and durable. No more loose parts or long lunch breaks during assembly. They started building Lambos the German way, which made them sturdier. That's why the Cerato Bravo can take a lot of rough treatment without falling apart. There are a few other things that make the Cerato special. It has an engine that's not as powerful as other Lamborghinis, but can handle high speeds for longer without breaking down. It also has the lowest top speed of any Lamborghini on the market, which means it's not the fastest car in terms of numbers. But for those who want a car that can handle tough conditions and still look cool, the Cerato Bravo is the way to go. Now let's talk about the Porsche. They were famous for winning races on smooth tracks, but they also managed to win a few races on dirt tracks over the years. However, when the unbeatable Audi Quattro appeared, it was clear that defeating this powerful Group B monster would require a whole new kind of car. This new car needed to be an all-wheel drive off-road supercar, which they named the 959. Surprisingly, the 959 was initially designed for rallying, even though it would later become a rival to the famous Ferrari F40. What made the 959 special was its cutting-edge technology. It could distribute power not just to all 4 wheels, but to the front, rear, or even the left or right wheels individually, depending on where the most grip was needed. This feature was a first in the world of cars. The 959 also introduced sequential twin turbocharging, a tire pressure monitoring system, and an active suspension system. In essence, the 959 aimed to do for rallying what the GTR Godzilla had done for circuit racing. Unfortunately, Group B racing was discontinued before the 959 could compete, leaving enthusiasts to wonder about a potential German showdown. Porsche didn't give up on the 959 though. They decided to test its capabilities in the grueling Paris-Dakar Rally, where it finished first and second. Then, Porsche made a road-legal version of the 959 that could reach speeds of up to 197 miles per hour without sacrificing its off-road abilities. You might have noticed the G on the stick shift, which stands for Gelände, the German word for terrain. Switching gears, no pun intended. Let's talk about the Morgan CXT. You might have expected a mention of the Porsche 911, but this time we're exploring something different. The Morgan CXT started its life as a regular plus 4, a sports car from 2023 that looks like it belongs to a bygone era. However, it received a modern boost with BMW engines and drivetrains. Then, the folks at Rally Right UK, known for building Paris-Dakar machines for the past 25 years, got their hands on it, and the result is a road-legal survival vehicle. The CXT boasts increased ground clearance, underbody protection, rugged tires, racks for tools, spare parts, extra fuel tanks, and an eye-catching exoskeleton. The exoskeleton was a must-have addition, as Morgans, including this one, still have wooden body frames. Wood might not be the best choice for surviving rough rides, so the exoskeleton adds strength and doubles as a makeshift storage solution since there's limited cargo space inside. All these modifications come at a price, a hefty $240,000, nearly 3 times the cost of a regular Plus 4. But given the demands of Dakar spec performance, it's not surprising that this kind of rugged capability doesn't come cheap. But don't worry if you don't have a lot of money, because Ariel has come up with an off-road solution just for you. Remember Ariel? They made that fast Atom car with a 300 horsepower engine from the Civic Type R, and it was lightning fast. Now they've created an off-road version called the Nomad. In terms of looks, the Nomad resembles the Thunderdome structure from Mad Max placed on 4 wheels. It's quite unique. Some people might say, it's just a buggy, what's the big deal? But this buggy is different. It's legal to drive on regular roads, and it carries the Ariel spirit. The Nomad is as fun on dunes as it is on a racetrack. Even though it has a softer and more forgiving suspension, it hasn't lost its agility. Try the same with another dune buggy, and you might feel like losing control on a smooth track. The Nomad is different. It offers more fun per component than any other car, regardless of the surface you're on. Let's talk about the Lancia Stratos, a special car made for rallying. It was the very first car designed mainly for this sport. It's not just any car, it's like a supercar. It has a powerful Ferrari V6 engine in the middle and rear-wheel drive. The person who designed the famous Lamborghini Countach also worked on its unique look. What makes the Stratos even more fascinating is its small size. It's so tiny that it's nimbler than a hummingbird. This matters a lot when you're driving on twisty rally roads. This little beast won the rally championship in 1974, 1975, and 1976 without breaking a sweat. It continued to be competitive for many more years and even managed to beat the all-wheel drive Quattro in 1981. Believe it or not, there were 500 road-legal versions of the Stratos. Of course, they had to follow certain rules for road cars. The engine for these cars was less powerful, but that was expected. Inside, the only upgrade was hiding all the wires behind the dashboard. If you look at the windows, you'll notice a unique mechanism. You can only open them a little by sliding a small piece along the arch, but all these quirks were part of the Stratos experience. Now, let's talk about something completely different from the small Stratos. We'd like to introduce you to the Mega Track, a massive car made by a company called Mega. Yes, it's a bit of a 90s style name, but that's what they went with. When you look at pictures of this car, it might seem like a regular supercar with some extra height, but it's actually way bigger than that. Let me show you some numbers to compare. The Mega Track is longer than the S-Class from the same era, wider than the H1 Hummer, and if you raise the suspension to the max, it's even taller than a Porsche Cayenne, which is already pretty hefty. This car is so huge that it has more space inside than an average apartment in New York City. In fact, it can fit a Mercedes V12 engine in the middle and has room for 4 seats. It's the only car of its kind ever made, and if it were available today, it would probably be incredibly popular. Wouldn't want a giant supercar that stands out both on and off the road, right? But here's the catch. Back in the 90s, there was no social media and no need to show off. That's why they only managed to sell 5 of these Mega Track cars. And lastly, the top spot goes to the Porsche 911 Dakar we mentioned earlier. It's the best off-road supercar you can find. For about a decade or two, all 911 models have been impressively good. While we usually prefer Italian sports cars, we can't deny the facts. The 911s are tough, reliable, practical, and deliver exceptional performance, regardless of the specific model you choose. Now, imagine combining these qualities with the ability to conquer rough terrain better than most modern SUVs. That's what makes the Porsche 911 Dakar a dream car like no other. Even though it has a higher ride height and robust armor plating, it can still handle the racetrack, keeping up with the 996 GT3 at the Nürburgring, a track known for speed. So, it's still very fast, and the best part is you can opt for a roof rack filled with Bear Grylls merchandise or other goodies, but the most exciting feature is the rooftop tent. How cool is that? This 911 Dakar isn't just for track days or rallying, it's also a motorhome. As a result, it stands in a class of its own. So these are the world of off-road supercars, showcasing the 7 best options for 2024. These remarkable machines combine power, performance, and rugged capability, making them a unique breed in the automotive world. If you enjoyed this video and want to stay updated on the latest automotive marvels, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join our growing community.